You heard him, President Obama telling America, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Well, that's simply not true. And now House Republicans are getting your message loud and clear, viewers, and they are now going straight to the insurance companies demanding answers about doctor access. Republican Congressman Ron DeSantis is on the House Oversight Committee. He joins us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Greta.
I have a copy of the letter that you sent to a number of insurance companies demanding documents. Why did you send it, and what do you want?
Well, I think the American people deserve the truth. As you mentioned, the President said if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. But what we're finding is Obamacare is essentially causing a massive disruption in the insurance market. And obviously people are losing their plans. We've seen that. But even more people potentially could be losing the doctor networks that they had grown accustomed to. And I think that is going to be a major change for a lot of the American people. And I think we need to get answers now. What did the administration know about this? What steps, if any, did they take to mitigate it? Why didn't they come clean with the American people when they knew that that promise couldn't be kept?
Well, you know, it's so interesting. I was watching Jim Engel a short time ago on our air, one of our correspondents here, and as recently as November 14th, President Obama said this: because there's a good chance they'll be able to buy better insurance at lower cost, which we've yet to see. He repeated that. He'd have said that also earlier on October 30 in New Orleans, and Jay Carney is repeating that on November 5th. Do you know anyone who's getting better insurance at a lower cost?
Better in terms of what the government thinks is better for you, and I think that's the issue. You have individual Americans who've made a determination about which plan is good for their family, and then you have the federal government essentially overruling that judgment, saying actually you need to pay a little bit more for a plan that has worse deductibles. Maybe it has a few bells and whistles. I have constituents who are 60-year-old women who say they don't need some of the pediatric dentistry or maternity coverage, and so it's better in the eyes of the government, not better in the eyes of the consumer. We obviously think that consumers know what's best for them and not the federal bureaucracy.
All right, right before the holidays, November 20th, you introduced a resolution. What is it, and what is the action you intend to take on it?
Well, you know, we heard all this stuff during the shutdown about Obamacare being the sacred law of the land. Congress could never touch it in any way, and yet in instance after instance, the President has essentially delayed key portions of the law, granted waivers to politically connected entities. And so what my resolution is doing is it's laying out two conspicuous instances in which he has refused to enforce his own law, when he delayed the employer mandate for 1 year, and then when he, quote, extended the grandfather provisions to cover plans that the statute doesn't.
Here's what I don't get about it. Here's what I mean. I understand what you're doing, and because you're saying that he's basically rewriting the law. But what I don't understand is that that is dead on arrival. It's going to go nowhere in the Senate, and the President's certainly going to say, if you believe the President has rewritten the law, if that's what you believe, so that he's undermining the legislative function of Congress, why don't you simply go to court and let the judicial branch sort it out? I don't know if you're right or you're wrong, but a resolution is going to get you nowhere fast.
Well, we're not going to have, as a member of Congress, likely going to have standing. So you need to have somebody who suffered an injury, and you may yet see that next year, Greta, with the employer mandate delay. And then some of these insurance companies are essentially being told they can offer these plans that are still technically illegal under the statute. So it does put them in a difficult situation. But we in Congress would probably not be able to sustain standing. So what my resolution's doing is at least getting the House on record saying we don't think this is acceptable. Because if we say nothing, then it becomes accepted constitutional practice, and I think that sets a bad precedent for future presidents and future Congresses.
Congressman, thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up.